For over 600 years, one book has taunted the world's greatest minds. Known as the Voynich Manuscript, it's a 240-page codex filled with an unbreakable code and bizarre illustrations. Carbon dated to the early 15th century, between 1404 and 1438, this isn't some modern forgery. Its parchment, ink, and pigments are authentically medieval. What makes it so compelling is its unique script, dubbed Voynichese, which appears nowhere else on Earth. The text is paired with illustrations organized into 5 distinct sections, creating a puzzle that has resisted every attempt at decryption. This isn't just a prop from a fantasy story. It's a real, tangible artifact from the late Middle Ages. A mystery written on calfskin that has stumped codebreakers, historians, and linguists for centuries. Opening the manuscript is like stepping into another world. The first and largest section is botanical, filled with meticulous drawings of plants. But here's the catch. Almost none of them can be definitively identified. They resemble known species, but with strange, impossible additions, making them a botanist's nightmare. The next section is astronomical and astrological, featuring intricate circular diagrams that look like zodiac wheels, charts of stars, and what appear to be suns and moons with faces. Then things get even stranger. The biological or balneological section contains drawings of small, nude figures, mostly female, bathing in green liquid and connected by a complex network of tubes and vessels. Following this is the pharmaceutical section, which shows isolated plant parts like roots and leaves next to jars and containers, suggesting recipes or herbal preparations. Finally, there's the text itself, pages filled with the elegant, flowing Voynichese script. Statistical analysis shows it has features of a real language, with word frequencies and structures that are too consistent to be random gibberish. The manuscript's journey to its current home at Yale University's Beinecke Library is a story in itself, adding layers to its mystique. While its earliest history is murky, the documented chain of ownership begins around the 17th century. It likely belonged to the Holy Roman Emperor Rudolph II, an avid collector of curiosities. From there, it passed to Georg Berisch, an alchemist in Prague who was obsessed with decoding it. Berisch sent a sample to the Jesuit scholar Athanasius Kircher, a renowned polymath who claimed to have deciphered Egyptian hieroglyphs. The manuscript eventually entered the Jesuit order's holdings, where it remained for centuries. In 1912, a Polish-American book dealer named Wilfrid Voynich purchased it from a Jesuit college near Rome, bringing it into the modern spotlight. After his death, it eventually made its way to Yale in 1969. This long and distinguished provenance proves one thing. The Voynich manuscript has been taken seriously by intelligent people for hundreds of years. It wasn't just a prank. It was an object of intense study. The last century has been a graveyard for decryption theories. The world's best codebreakers, including William and Elizabeth Friedman, who cracked Japanese and German codes during World War II, were humbled by it. They confirmed its language-like statistical properties, but could never find the key to unlock its meaning. This failure opened the floodgates to a torrent of wild claims. Theories have proposed it was a lost work by the 13th century friar Roger Bacon, written in a microscopic cipher. Others have suggested it's a form of vowelless Ukrainian, an ancient Mexican dialect, or even a phonetic transcription of Old Turkish. The debate over whether it's an elaborate hoax has also raged for decades. Some argued Voynich himself forged it, while others proposed it was a clever scam created during the Renaissance to fool a wealthy patron like Rudolph II. However, these hoax theories are largely discredited by the material evidence. The 15th century parchment and the complex statistical structure of the text make a modern forgery nearly impossible, and a historical one incredibly difficult to execute. So, why is the Voynich manuscript so stubbornly difficult to crack? The problem is threefold. First, there's the script itself. It's an alphabet that matches no known writing system. While it's internally consistent, with distinct characters and word patterns, there is no Rosetta Stone to anchor its meaning. Second, the illustrations, which should provide clues, are just as baffling. The plants are unidentifiable. The astronomical charts don't correspond to any known celestial arrangement, and the biological diagrams are utterly bizarre. Without a firm connection to reality, the images can't be used to reliably decode the text. Finally, the manuscript appears to be a tightly integrated, self-contained system. The text and images are so coherent within their own strange logic that they resist brute force attacks and simple substitution ciphers. It's a perfect cryptographic storm. But now, technology is prying open secrets the human eye could never see. Using multispectral imaging, researchers can scan the manuscript's pages with light from different parts of the spectrum, from ultraviolet to infrared. This advanced technique can reveal what's hidden beneath the surface ink, including faded text, erased markings, and underdrawings. In a groundbreaking analysis of just 10 pages, manuscript expert Lisa Fagan Davis and her team uncovered something astonishing. The scans revealed hidden marginalia notes scribbled in the margins that had long since faded from view. And in one section, they found faint, erased columns of text. The bombshell was that these hidden notes weren't just more Voynichese. They included readable Roman letters, sometimes written right alongside the mysterious script. This discovery shines new light on a crucial piece of evidence: a letter found with the manuscript, written in 1665 by Johannes Marcus Marci. In the letter, Marci explains he is sending the book to Athanasius Kircher, mentioning that a previous owner believed it was written by Roger Bacon. The newly revealed marginalia strongly suggest that someone in the 17th century chain of ownership, very likely Marci himself, was actively trying to decipher the manuscript. He appears to have been testing correspondences, writing down Latin letters next to Voynich characters in a private attempt to create a key. This wasn't just idle curiosity. It was a serious scholarly effort. The multispectral imaging also shows that the main text itself wasn't static. There are corrections, revisions, and annotations made with different inks, showing real-world use and study. This boosts the manuscript's authenticity, portraying it as a living document, not a sterile, indecipherable object. With these new clues, a powerful new hypothesis began to solidify around 2025. The emerging consensus is that the Voynich manuscript is not an alien text or gibberish, but an enciphered or encoded version of a known language, most likely Latin. The leading theory points to northern Italy as its place of origin, a region that was a hub of medical, alchemical, and astrological knowledge in the 15th century. In that era, there were powerful motives for secrecy. Knowledge was a valuable commodity. Medical practitioners and herbalists belonged to protective guilds, and keeping their recipes and techniques secret gave them a significant trade advantage. Furthermore, certain practices, especially those related to astrology and women's health, could attract the unwelcome scrutiny of the church. Encoding a text was a form of intellectual property protection and a shield against persecution. This context fits the manuscript's content perfectly. Herbs for therapy, zodiac charts for timing medical procedures, bizarre baths and womb-like diagrams related to women's health, and jars representing pharmaceutical formulations. If this working model is correct, the manuscript's pages likely contain a wealth of practical information disguised in a cryptic shell. The botanical section would be a materia medica, a catalog of medicinal herbs with descriptions of their properties and preparation methods. The fantastical, non-photorialistic art could have been a deliberate choice to obscure the plants from rival practitioners. The astronomical section would provide the rules for medical astrology, the right time to harvest a plant, brew a potion, or perform a treatment based on the positions of the moon, planets, and zodiac signs. The biological section, with its strange bathing scenes, is now widely interpreted as being focused on women's health, depicting concepts related to conception, pregnancy, and balneotherapy, therapeutic bathing. Finally, the pharmaceutical section would be a collection of encoded recipes, with the jars and plant parts acting as a visual index for apothecaries. The breakthroughs leading into 2025 have fundamentally changed our understanding of the manuscript. We now have concrete evidence of historical decoding attempts written directly onto its pages. We can see the layers of erasures, edits, and annotations, revealing a dynamic history of use. Analysis confirms the inks and pigments are consistent throughout, solidifying its 15th century origin. Most importantly, the consensus has shifted dramatically toward the Latin cipher theory, providing a focused path for future research. What hasn't changed, however, is that we still don't have a full peer-reviewed plaintext translation. There is not yet universal agreement across all disciplines, and the final key to unlocking the entire text remains elusive. Unlocking the Voynich Manuscript is more than just solving an old puzzle. The stakes are surprisingly high. From a scientific perspective, it could contain lost medical remedies or provide invaluable insights into historical healing practices that have been forgotten. For cryptography, it offers a fascinating case study in pre-modern information security, a complex system designed centuries before digital encryption. For history and culture, it could fill major gaps in our knowledge of 15th century intellectual networks, especially concerning the often hidden world of women's health. And for the public imagination, it represents a rare, tangible mystery that is finally moving toward a resolution within our own lifetime, a testament to human ingenuity and perseverance. The Voynich Manuscript is no longer seen as an alien artifact or an unsolvable enigma. It is increasingly understood as a deeply human document, purposeful, careful, and created for reasons we are only now beginning to grasp. It is a work of a specific time and place, holding knowledge deemed so valuable that it was worth cloaking in a nearly impenetrable code. As new pages are imaged and correspondences between Voynichese and Latin are tested, a voice that has been silent for 600 years is finally getting louder, ready to tell its secrets. Next time, we will test the Latin cipher model on a single botanical folio letter by letter.